I want to take a minute to say welcome to People's Rights Oregon. My name is BJ Soper. I am the state administrator for Oregon right now. I'm working on developing and growing the peoplesrights.org organization around the state. For the last couple of months, people have been hearing about texting the word rights to 80123. And if you're getting this video, you've done that. Most of y'all are around the area. You're in the Portland area, you're in the Salem area, and everywhere else. I spent the last couple of months developing where I live, Area 5, and I wanted to take a minute to introduce you guys to what the People's Rights Organization looks like. It's really just a tool for you to use. It is a tool to be in communication with each other instantly at the stroke of a button. The texting system is great. You're able to communicate with your area assistants are able to communicate an issue of a neighbor in need, of critical information that needs to go out, of meeting times and places. It's just something that's a really great tool to be able to use to develop a patriot group or a community group or whatever kind of group that it is that you're trying to develop. The concept behind People's Rights is that we unite to defend each other. And that's the entire focus behind why we've developed the program. Now, with that said, we understand that lots of different groups are established out there and could utilize this tool to be able to move forward and progress and defend each other when the time comes. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to tell you a little bit about how we set up Area 5, which is Central Oregon. We came together for a couple of weeks and met, and we talked about the ideas of uniting and what that looked like, and quite honestly, we had no clue. We didn't have a single idea of how to do this. And as the weeks went along, we decided, okay, we've met for 3 weeks now, and we've ranted and we raved about everything that's wrong. What are we going to do to fix it? Well, what we did is we decided to subcategorize our group, and we go by the name People's Rights Oregon. Oregon 5 is what we go by. We decided that it was important to come up with different concepts that we could latch onto as individuals within the group, to develop a process that when the need came, we were able to help each other. So we developed 9 different categories that we've been building on, and it's expanded from there since its inception. So we have a group that focuses on constitutional studies, because how do we defend our rights if we don't know what our rights are? We have a group that's called the first responders. These are the guys that are trained up and capable of going to an issue when somebody calls and asks for help to assess the situation and make sure it's safe to bring other people in, so on and so forth. We have a group called the Food Network. We realized that there was we realized we had the ability to pull together resources to be able to feed ourselves, because a lot of our group is just absolutely adamant about not wearing masks, and we're worried about our ability to go obtain groceries and feed our families and obtain the resources that we needed to live our lives. And so we developed this food network where we brought in ranchers and farmers and butchers and people of all sorts of different walks of life that had the resources together, and we pulled those together. And develop this network to where we can go out and barter and trade or physically pay or whatever the case may be each other for the services that we can provide. And it's worked out very well so far. Homeschool was a big one this year, especially in Oregon. We realized how dangerous it was going to be to send our kids back to school, back to public school. And so we've developed protocols and put people in charge to do research on the homeschool situation, and that's turned out very well. We have a lot of kids that will not be returning back to public schools, and I feel great about that. Self-defense training. We have projects that we're working on. We have projects for a gentleman that decided to run for city council here, and we're going to back him and support him and push his campaign out in the front for him. We have tactical training, and then we also have a project that's dear to my heart, the developing the state of East Oregon, basically that concept of separating the state from Salem and beyond. So these are things that we came up with in our group, and nobody has to follow our lead or anything like that, but it's been effective. Let me tell you, our group started off, we signed up a couple hundred people pretty quickly on People's Rights, and we called for a meeting. And at that first meeting, we had about 30 people show up, which was great. We decided to meet every 2 weeks. And at the second meeting, we had about the same 30 people. And we decided that this is going to work and we want to develop more. And we started meeting every week. We moved our meetings to a restaurant that offered up to cook us up a buffet and give us this big venue that we could use to keep bringing more and more people in. And we did that, and our meetings went from 30 to 50 to 70 to 90. Last Thursday when we met, we had over 130 people show up. A lot of new faces and a lot of old faces that have dived in and decided that it's time that we have to come together. We have to find this ability to unite and work together to defend our rights. So there is a process. You can take it and you can mimic exactly what we're doing over here in Central Oregon where you live. The whole idea is that we get groups of people together, having the tools they need to communicate and work together and develop these groups and have the ability to defend each other when the time comes, if the time comes. So I hope that makes sense. I don't want to go on too long here, but what we're doing is I want to get this information out so that you guys can understand, because I know there's been a lot of questions like, oh, I signed up for this. What is this thing? That's it in a nutshell. Now, in order to progress this, I need to recruit area assistants that can take the lead where you live. Whatever zone you signed up for where you lived, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, I'm looking for people that are willing to take the information from the website with all the people that are signed up, reach out to those people and organize and meet up and form a group and get to know each other and work together and find this unity, find this common bond that we're going to be able to stand together and fight for our rights when the time comes, because it is coming. It's actually upon us now, and it's never been more critical to be united and knowing each other in order to help each other. I don't expect every group to meet every week. You meet whenever you can meet. We meet every week because we look at it this way. If an issue was to arise, and let's just use we'll just use simple names here, and Joe called the system and said, I'm in trouble, I need help, OSHA's here at my store, and they're threatening to shut me down, please come help me. If I don't know who Joe is, and all I know is Joe is somebody in the texting system, I'm going to be pretty leery about running and helping somebody that I just don't know. So these meetings are really important because we get to sit down for the first hour of every meeting and we're eating, we're having a meal together, we're getting to know each other, we're talking, we're chatting, we're telling jokes, we're getting to know, we're building those relationships. We've done the same thing with our social media platforms. We've moved off of Facebook into something far better. It's called Slack. It's something that we have the ability to categorize all of our actions, all of those groups that I was telling you about earlier, to where you don't have to go on Facebook and divulge through all of the crazy posts from everybody to find what you're looking for. You can physically log on, find the group that you're looking for, click on it, and go to work. It's going to be great to keep people focused and not lost off in the weeds chasing the white rabbit on Facebook, which we're all guilty of. So anyways, I hope this makes sense. If you're interested in being a area assistant for where you live, you got the ability to communicate well, you got the ability and the time to reach out to people and organize meetings and do all these things, and that's something that you want to do. I need your help in your area. Each area should have multiple area assistants because these areas are big. Oregon's a big state. Ideally, like Central Oregon, the way we have Central Oregon set up, we have 2 or 3 people in each of our little towns. So Madras has 2 or 3 people, Redmond has 2 or 3 people, Bend has 2 or 3 people, Prineville has 2 or 3 people, acting as area assistants. And we need to do the same thing where you live. So if you're interested, send me a email to People's Rights Oregon, all one word, PEOPLES, rights, RIGHTS, Oregon, at gmail.com. Give me some time. I'm going to get bombarded with a whole bunch of emails here. Myself and my wife are going to work through it. We're going to try to get back to each one of you. And if interested, we'll talk. Make sure it's something that you want to do. There's a little training video that I can send you so that you understand what the process is, what the job is, and moving forward. And we can start to develop other areas of the state. Portland really needs it. The Metro Portland area, Area 1, really needs help right now. There's a lot of people sitting there. There's already almost 1,000 people signed up in the Portland area, and we only have a couple people acting as area assistants, and they are on the far outskirts of Area 1. So it would be really great if we could find somebody or multiple people to fill in that gap in Portland, because holy cow, watching what's taking place over there is just, it's heartbreaking. And we need people to have the ability to unite, find some courage in each other, and have that camaraderie to know that if they do need help, they got somebody that they can call. Because that's the question. First question on the website, peoplesrights.org, is who would you call if your rights were being violated? And so think about that. Take a look at peoplesrights.org. There's lots of information on there to answer any questions that you have. If you have questions, email me at peoplesrightsorgan@gmail.com. Specifically, if you want to be an area assistant as well. So please specify if that's the case. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope this has been enlightening to what People's Rights Oregon is all about. We do have this YouTube channel that we're using to put out like constitutional study guides and some other information, and all kinds of different aspects as well. So subscribe if you want to follow a little bit closer there. Hopefully we got some Facebook pages that are building around the state as well too, while we can be on Facebook, and then other media platforms as well. But have a great day. Do some research. Send me an email if you're interested in learning more, and hopefully we can work together to grow this state into a huge unified platform. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening.